Mme Anna diriliki tsa hae di a sebetsa. Ha o ka utlwa mafatshe a mang bo Canada bo kae ba rapela Mme Anna o ba etsetsa mohlolo. Ba etsetsa mohlolo because ntho e batlang wa ithola, wa kula wa fola. Ngwana ona hlahe a sa tsebe ho bua, a sa bone. Ilare ha utlwa lebitso la Anna, mahlo a buleha, o kgona le ho bua. So Mme Anna wa phila, Mme Anna o motle, Mme Anna o re etseditse mehlolo ka hare matlo a rona.
Oho Anna ya halalelang ya molemo. Maria Moverigo. Kajeno ke kena kopanong e kgethetsweng wena. Ke o kgetha hore o be moelli wa ka, sesupiso sa ka le mothusi wa ka. Ka mehla ke tla leka ho rata. Ke ho etsise ka bophelo bo kgabane, ka bosebeletsi le ka thabo. Ke o rapela ka pelo ya ka yohle, hore o nkamohele ke le moradi wa hao, mme o nsireletse ka mehla. O nkopele neo ya ho rata Modimo ka pelo ya ka yohle, le moha Yesu jwalo ka ha ke ithata. E le hore ke se etse sebe bophelong ba ka. Nthuse ho hola kgalalelong, mmoho le lelapa lohle la ka. O nthapelle ho Modimo hore ke be mosadi le mmabana ya lokileng, setho se tshepahalang sa kopano le kereke.
Ekungeneni kwami emshadweni ngathatha isikhathi ukuthola abantwana. And ngibathola ngibambe yazi izinto zikaNkulunkulu. So angifunda ihistory ka-Anna, athi mos nomama nomefana nami. Ngoba nami ekhaya uzozwa abantu abadala bekhuluma bevakashela umamazala wami kuzothiwa hapho makoda kaka. You know makoda kaka. Hayi ngathi ngiyamthanda lo mama. Ungathi ngizomlandela.
Ka motsotso wa lefu la ka, e ba haufi le nna o na le mangeloi le bahalaledi, mme le mphelehetse ho ya fihla ho ntata rona ya mahodimong. Amen.
Welcome to My Sodality, My Pride. I am Kensani Gija, your host with the most. Well, in this program as a whole, My Sodality, My Pride is a program where we bring you sodalities, we journey with them, we go behind the scenes, getting to understand the sodalities that we have in the Catholic Church. Well, today, we are focusing on the Saint Anne Sodality. On today's episode, Saint Anne Sodality will be our coverage. And of course, we will be getting to understand, know, and journey, understand and communicate with our Saint Anne members. What to expect on this episode, we do have the guest, the one and the only president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg for the Saint Anne Sodality, which is Mme Boshomane. She will further introduce herself after the break. But what we are covering today, we're really talking about the structure of the St. Anne Sodality, the foundation, the formation of the National Council, and what is it that forms a committee in the Archdiocese of Johannesburg for the St. Anne Sodality.
Multinational hustler. Hustler is what echoes in my mind. You see, you'll be surprised to find out how far you can go from the moment you thought it was the end of you. So be a hustler. The sleepless nights, the anxiety, the fear of being called a failure to grab an opportunity to fly, to explore, and to conquer. So be a hustler. Still contemplating? Well, the streets are not empty. So is your head, let alone your bookshelf. So get up, rise up, and stay up. Hustler, be a multinational hustler.
Welcome back on Radio Veritas TV. You're still tuned into My Sodality, My Pride. And we did mention that today we are focusing on the St. Anne Sodality. And we do have the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg, which is Mme Boshomane, for the St. Anne Sodality. A wonderful. Good day, Mama. How are you?
I'm okay, and how are you, Kenzie?
I am well, thank you, Mama. It's such an honor to have you over. Thank you for honoring the invitation.
I'm honored as well, thank you.
Mama, please give us a brief introduction of yourself. We know you as the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg, but we really want to know Mme Boshomane herself.
Ha ke dumedise bamamedi ba Radio Veritas. Wa bolelang ke Mme Kgabo Boshomane. Kenzie, Mme Kgabo Boshomane as president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. Ke mme wa tswang ko Kagiso o tsenang kereke ko Our Lady Queen of Peace eo e leng ka tlase ya Ntate Mandla Skhosana. Ke nna mosadi ya mopedi ke tswa ke le Limpopo. Ke tlile mo Kagiso ka 1989 ha ke thoma go ruta Mosupatsela High School.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mama. As a teacher, when you're saying that no rutisa, it says a lot about you. Having the statue, the being a lady of your caliber and being the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg for St. Anne's Sodality is not by magic.
Ke a bona ngwanaka ka gore ke setse ke tlwaetse go bereka le batho, more especially ba batjha. The headache, I'm used to it.
So, Mama, since you've been here and you say that you've been in Kagiso since 1989, that's been a long time. You've seen things, you've experienced things, and I'd really like to understand and get to understand that how did you join the St. Anne's Sodality? How did it come about? How was your journey being?
Ngwanaka Kenzie, it was not easy go tsena kopanong ya Anna ya halalelang. I remember I was still very young. I was still indecisive. I was weighing the sodalities. Ke be ke ipona ke le motjha, ke tshwantse ke tsene baradi ba Anna. Ha ke sare ke re ke tshwantse ke tsene boradi ba Anna ka bona hore ke tshwantse ke kene kemolo. But when I looked at them ka bona hore ai o kare ye e leng yona e tla nthutang hore ke kgone go tlhokomela lelapa la ka. Is the Sodality of St. Anne. Regardless hore batswadi baka le mogolo wa ka, that is my sister, e be le ba St. Anne. But I took a decision ke lebeletse gore but the correct Sodality e tshwantse ke tsene for lelapa la ka is the St. Anne Sodality. And ke tsene o St. Anne Sodality ka 1989. 1989 ha ke fitla, and then I went through the process ya training. Ke apere ke tsene Sodality not ka 1989, I'm sorry, ka 1998. Ke tsene ka 1998, ke be ke apara ka 1999 ko Magalisburg ke apesa ke Father Mbata.
Wow.
I was still 36 years old by then.
That's a very young age, actually, Mama. We're actually in conversation with Mme Boshomane, and she's sharing her journey of how she actually chose the St. Anne's Sodality. It was not an easy decision for her to make because she was still weighing and trying to find herself in this journey. Mama, let's talk about the foundation. Let's talk about your position right now as the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. I'd really like to understand the foundation of the St. Anne's Sodality. How did it come about, and what did you think of it when you first found yourself and you said, this is the Sodality that's suited for me?
Okay, Kenzie, the St. Anne's Sodality, initially, it was started in Quebec. Komotsaneng or bitsang gore ke Canada. Remember gore ke tsene yona mokgatlo ona ke hore kopano ya St. Anne ya Anna ya halalela ke kopano ya bomme ba nyetsweng sekatoliki. Ke yona ya mpha mafolofolo ya gore this is the right Sodality to be in because I'm married, even though young, but I'm married. And kopano e ke ya bomme ba nyetsweng sekatoliki. E thomile ko motsaneng wa Quebec ko Canada. E thoma ke ntate mo Bishop R. Conrad ka 1850. Kopano ena ile bukana ya ona ya mathomo ya melao ya tisetswa ke ba bishop ba Canada. E tloha Canada ile ya tloha Canada le mo Bishop Joseph Cyprian Bonhomme ka 1934 e ya Lesotho. Go tloa Canada e thomile Lesotho. Ha e tloa Lesotho, then it spreads to the rest of the countries of South Africa. That's how now we have it now. Ile ya nna le moetapele wa mathomo, the first president wa St. Anne Sodality, e ne le Mme Rosina Sibitle, e be le national president wa mathomo wa kopano ya Anna e halalela.
That's wonderful, wonderful. You know, having something that's began in Canada and coming straight into South Africa is a big deal. You know, being from Canada to Lesotho, and it's been there for quite a long time. I mean, it actually makes really, really much sense. Okay, Mama, you mentioned Moto Onyete Nkase Catholic, you know, and St. Anne Sodality being a sodality for married women. What does it mean, Hori Onyete Nkase Catholic?
Okay, Kenzani. In the Catholic Church, manyalo a rona a etsiwa ka mo kerekeng ke ba priester, re nyadiswa ke ba priester. Remember hore lenyalo ka mo kerekeng ya Roma, it's a sacrament. Ke sacrament ya lenyalo. Ke ka mo re nyadiswang ko kerekeng, re sainiswang ke ba priester go tiisetsa gore ke sacrament ya lenyalo. Ha o tshwane le he ke ilo nyala ha motlhe. He ke ilo nyala ha motlhe ke lenyalo e fela ha se sacrament ya lenyalo jwale ka ke nyalo ka kerekeng. Ha o nyetswe ha motlhe o le mosadi o nyaka go tsena kopanong ya Anna ya halalelang, o tsena kereke ya Katoliki, o tšea certificate sa hao, you're going to take it from amohle, then you go to the church, to the priest, a shegofatše lenyalo la gago ore a le dire gore e be sacramente ya lenyalo. Ke mo le tla bonalang gore o nyetswe sekatoliki.
As we all know that in the Catholic Church, we do have the sacraments, and what Mme Boshomane was saying that this is the sacrament of marriage. St. Anne Sodality is focusing on really on the sacrament of matrimony. So what is going on right now is that she's explaining that if you get married, you have to come back to the church and be confirmed and say, yes, I am married in the Catholic Church, I am Catholic, and you will be blessed by the priest that will be there in presence of the marriage to bless it and make it permanent that you are a married Catholic. That's what we mean, that you are married by Catholicism. So, Mama, we have different structures. Like we say that the topic for today is the structure of the St. Anne Sodality, you know, and we'd really like to understand that the structures that are involved, you know, building the hierarchy of the St. Anne Sodality. And please also share your journey as the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. How did you get there? You know, did you start somewhere, or you went straight into being the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg?
Thank you, Kenzani. The St. Anne Sodality is that at national level. Penally, the national St. Anne Sodality. We have 26 dioceses forming the national. As I've said, Durban, Cape Town, Polokwane, Limpopo. We have also Swaziland in the 26 dioceses. Then Johannesburg is one of the national. Johannesburg Diocese has got 5 regions. That is Western Region, Central Region, Vaal Region, Northern Region, and Eastern Region. These are the 5 regions forming the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. These regions have got parishes. The Western Region, the parishes are the Western Catholic parishes. The all the Eastern parishes fall under Eastern Region. Just like that. I've started being the secretary at parish level of the St. Anne Sodality. From parish level, then I went to being the secretary at regional level, Western Region. And from Western Region, where I was a secretary for 3 for 2 years. Then I was co-opted. To be the secretary of the nation, of the diocese, in the diocese. So there I worked as the vice secretary until they nominated me as the secretary. From the secretary, then that's where I was promoted to being the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg.
Wonderful, wonderful, Mama. You know, it's quite evident. It's quite evident that you've walked this journey and you're still gonna walk this journey, building yourself, climbing the ladder up to being the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. Representing Johannesburg itself is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful experience. Is it not hard for you? Was it how was the workload? You know, there has to be something that you do, or rather, is it me and herself who's with you?
Kenzani, I would say it's not easy, but I would also say thanks to God that umpile position yauba, the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg, after I've pensioned. I'm on pension. So if I was not on pension, Kenzani, remember, I was in the administration at school. Then I was going to have administrative work at school and also in the Sodality. It's hard work because also the Sodality needs time for administration work. It needs time. So now I can say I'm better off because I am at home. I'm able to concentrate on the Sodality work.
So this is working for God.
It's working for God.
This is your job now.
That is my job. I'm working even more than I worked at school. Even my neighbors will ask me that, we don't see you nowadays. You are you are so busy that even busy than before you were at work. I'm very busy now.
Wonderful, wonderful. It is so important, you know, to understand and work through the journey. Mme Boshomane was just sharing her journey and saying that she moved from being working, you know, being employed, and now she's retired, but still working for God in the St. Anne's Sodality, as being the president of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg. She's saying that it comes with roles, it comes with duties, with tasks to do. You know, it's not as easy, and she's now busier than she was when she was working before. Talking about roles, you have roles yourself, right? And there's a committee involved. Like you said earlier on, that you climbed the ladder and being the secretary from parish level, and now you're the president. There has to be a committee that's involved there, you know. Please take us through the roles that they have, because it is not easy holding such positions, and there has to be roles and tasks that are delegated properly amongst the committee itself.
Thank you, Mekenzani. I will just summarize the roles. As president, I'm the overseer. I must see to it or Sodality runs smoothly. Where it needs a representative, I must be there to represent the Sodality. I must see to it I'm in each and every meeting where each Sodality has to be represented and represent them. So as I said, I'm an overseer. All these committee members, I must see to it that mesebetsi ya bona ya etseha. Renale, the deputy president. The deputy president is going to be a president in my absence. The deputy president is as well in charge of the aspirants and the probationers. Rebabitsa bakokoti. Ki ena aling in charge o rupella bomme ba ba nyakang ho tsena mokgatlong wa anna. As my president, I must see to it the process of formation, training and formation, it goes well smoothly. As I said, I'm the overseer. The secretary is there. The secretary is the person who writes the minutes for us in each and every meeting, but is also important in that he takes all the correspondence. Is the one who must tell us when and how and when and where the meeting should be, and must be able to tell us in time or so that we are meeting in time. The secretary, indeed, I can say, ke mokokotlo wa Sodality. If the secretary can be weak, hey, Sodality is not going to go anywhere. Kiena actually in Sodality, because all the correspondence, all the informations, the secretary, in communication with me, the communicator. The treasurer is there, that one, Otwara Finance, is not easy, because Otwara Finance, yeah, Sodality. That's where the problem lies. You have got to be accountable for each and every cent you spend. You must be able to keep the receipts. Every invoice must be up to date. And I must come in and monitor the work and check if everything is done properly. We have got vice secretary. The vice secretary is the secretary in the absence of the vice secretary. Of the secretary. The vice secretary as well is the one who is writing the statistics of the whole St. Anne Sodality. Is responsible to tell us the stats of the whole St. Anne Sodality and the probationers and the aspirants. We've got 3 members who are called the finance committee. They help the treasurer. Now they are selling outside. These 3 finance members, they must help in selling and keeping records.
So the roles are really, they're divided. Everybody has their own roles. Having somebody who is focusing primarily on the initiates, I'd like to call them, the new people who are aspiring, the potential St. Anne members. It's a journey. It's a journey, and the committee itself must delegate its duties and do its tasks properly to run the whole committee itself. Not only the chairperson, not only the president, but it is a cycle, teamwork in the committee. Thank you so much, Mama, for that. You mentioned meetings. We see St. Anne holding meetings and St. Anne having these occasions. I'd really like to understand, what are the meetings about and how often do they happen?
Okay, Kenzani. The meetings, usually we have 4 meetings, which is 2 meetings per semester. 2 semester to other semester. The meetings, that's where we meet with what we call the council. The council is the representative of the regions, the committee members of the regions. This council, that's where we are going to discuss Sodality matters. So when we discuss Sodality matters, the council, meaning the committees per region, will take the information down to the parishes. Remember, the regional committees are there to take care of the parishes. So we cannot go to these parishes, the whole of Johannesburg, and call them for the meeting. That's why we have got what we call council, to give them information in the organizational matters.
It is really a hierarchy of responsibilities, Not only we see St. Anne as a Sodality itself, but it also has its own duties. It also has its own works, there has to be finances involved, meetings involved, a leader has to be there. Not only St. Anne members going around seeing them with the uniform, but there's really tasks involved, there's prayer involved, there's planning involved for events, retreats, meetings. It is a lot, but by the grace of God and St. Anne herself, she's there and she is existing in this world. Thank you, Mama, for accepting the invitation and availing yourself, to have this conversation. I'm so honored to be sitting with you and having this conversation with the President of the Archdiocese of Johannesburg for the St. Anne Sodality. In closing, Mama, please share words of encouragement to St. Anne Sodality members, and for everyone who would like to join the St. Anne Sodality.
Okay, Kenzani, to be a St. Anne member or to belong to any committee in the St. Anne Sodality, you have got to be spiritually developed. Spiritual growth is very important. If you've got spiritual growth, you'll have inner peace. So you can be able to deal with all the challenges you encounter. Because if you don't have inner peace in you, every person you meet is going to be the victim for your anger. You'll always be angry. Be prayerful. Be spiritually developed. I always tell them, Mama, if you are not spiritually developed, you are going to be an enemy to yourself. You can't be able to work with other mamas. Remember Saint Anne, our patroness, was very prayerful. Prayerful in the sense that he must be spiritually grown. That's how we must be. We must be spiritually developed so that we can be able to work with these challenges we encounter.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And there you have it. Be spiritually developed. Pray, and be faithful. Believe in yourself, and God shall do the rest, along with the patroness, Saint Anne. Thank you for tuning in to Radio Veritas TV on My Sodality, My Pride. And I am your host, Kensani Gija. See you on the next one.